sometimes you'll be asked to use percents to find the amount of change. So maybe a coat was originally this price, but it's on sale. What was the percent of change? Okay, or how much did something increase? So to find that, you're always going to look at the amount of change. How much money was the difference? How much did it go up or down by? And then you're always going to compare that to the original price. That ratio would be the same as your percent of change over 100. Okay? So we're going to use proportions, and we're going to use this to help us. So if you don't have this already written down, be sure you do. If the new price is higher than the original, then you're finding the percent of increase. This should be, once you look at the numbers, it'll make sense. If our new price is lower than the original, we're finding the percent of decrease. How much did that price go down? All right? So let's look at a problem. Find the percent of change for a $50 coat on sale for $35. So first thing I want to do is find the amount of change. So what was the difference between $50 and $35? Well, if I subtract that, I get 15. Okay? That it went on sale $15 less. So for my proportion, I want the amount of change, so that was the $15, over the original price. What did that coat start out costing? That's $50. So I have 15 over 50, and that should equal my percent of change over 100. It's a percent out of 100. Okay, I want to know what portion this is from this. Should be the same as my percent out of 100. So solving that proportion, 15 times 100 would be 1,500, would equal 50 times P. Now to solve that, I need to divide both sides by 50, which will give me 30. So that means there was a 30% change, and in this case, a 30% decrease, okay, because the price went down. So now, I want you to try this one on your own. When you figure it out, press play. So a worker gets a raise from $18,000 to $19,500. Find the percent of change. Well, now his price went up, his salary went up, so we're finding a percent of increase. But again, we'll work this the same way. I want to know what's the difference between these. So I'm going to take my larger number, so 19,500, subtract the smaller one, and I get that it went up by $1,500. Okay, that was my amount of change. Filling in my proportion would be 1,500, that amount of change, over the original. So what was his original salary? That's the $18,000. So that will be my denominator, equals the percent of change over 100. Ooh, I'm going to have a lot of zeros. So doing my cross products, 150000 would equal 18,000 P. Then I need to divide both sides by 18,000. 18,000. And I get I get 8.3 repeating, which I hope you know is 8 1/3%. So it increased by 8 1/3%. Okay. Now, sometimes they'll ask you to find the percent of markup. So that's where, how much does it actually cost to manufacture, or how much am I actually buying a product for, but then how much am I marking up to sell it to you, which is usually quite a bit. You're going to work these the same way. So it says find the percent of markup for a car that costs $18,500 to produce but sells for $24,000. So first, I need to find the amount of change. How much did they raise that price by? So that will be the $24,000 minus the $18,500. So that is $5,500. So that was my amount of change. So that's going to go in the top of my proportion. The original price is what you're starting with. Okay, how much does it cost to produce? So that's my 18,500. That will equal the ratio of the percent over 100. So using my cross products, 0, 0 would equal 18,500p. Divide both sides by 18,500. Make sure I had all my zeros entered in. Okay, we get a weird decimal. So we get 29.729. So let's say I want this to the nearest whole percent. So I don't want a decimal part. So looking at the next number, it says 7. So I'm going to bump that up to 20 or to 30%, because this is closer to 30% than it is to 29. Okay? So the percent of markup is about 30%.